Hello, and welcome back to another Leadership Nugget. I hope you're doing well, feeling well, staying well. As for me, I am blessed beyond anything I deserve. And today we're going to talk about attitude. I have no idea how many copies of this little booklet I purchased and passed out to various leadership teams along the way, but it was a bunch because Lee Colan's book on orchestrating attitude made a big impact on me at a really critical time in my career. And I'm hoping maybe it will do the same for you. If you had worked with me along the way or took one of my classes or maybe even watched the video that we did that talks about this, you know that we found out many years ago that the secret to true patient or customer satisfaction is whether or not our team members felt good about themselves when they came to work and again when they left and went home. That it was, business strategy, purposes, all of that is extremely important, but the way people feel about themselves really drives performance, and performance drives outcomes. So that positive, resilient mindset is just so important in the workplace, especially in healthcare. Ben Zander, the former famous director of the Boston Philharmonic, reminds us that the conductor is the only member of the orchestra that doesn't make a sound, does not contribute to the overall sound of the orchestra. And that's just so important for us to realize that we are the ones who set the tone. We're the ones who call for the energy in the right places at the right time, when the music needs to swell, when things need to come back down and be calm. But we demonstrate that. And we demonstrate that not from the desk and not from the boardroom. We demonstrate that with the orchestra, out with the people. You know, there's so much in this world that we have no control over. I have no control over whether or not there's enough air in the tires when I want to go to work, whether or not any of my children can do well in college algebra the first time around. It's just that we live in a world of uncertainty. But there is one thing that I am the world's foremost leading expert on. No one knows more about this than I do, and that is how I feel. And to a certain extent, I feel the way I feel. Things happen, they make me feel a certain way, but I have control over how I react to that. I have control over my responses. I have control to overcome those feelings, at least long enough to go to work and do my job, to be positive and upbeat, and to be that conductor that the organization needs. And I think the important point on this slide is simply that negativity gets more traction faster in any organization or in a news cycle than positive information. And it's the same with word of mouth in our hospitals. One negative remark online can offset 10 positive ones. So we just have to work that much harder to make sure that our teams feel good about themselves, that they're aligned to our purpose, and that they are not spreading that negativity in and among the ranks. DeWitt Jones was a very famous photographer for National Geographic. And he talked about how he would get up in the morning and think, boy, I'm going to go out, and if I can just find that picture, that it'll be a good day. I have to look for it and see if it's there. And over time, he began to realize that that was all wrong, that he had to get up in the morning and know that it was there, that he knew when he went out, he was going to find the picture that he wanted. And it was that flipping mindset that was so important. And Colan talks about that in his, attitude script. He talks about our thoughts, if we think over and over and over, lead to our beliefs. Our beliefs cause us to have those thoughts begin to spill out in words, And those words then kind of become commitments, and those commitments lead to actions, and actions lead to results. And it is very much, if I believe that I am the most fortunate man on the face of the planet, I am. And the super powerful concept in the book, it's on the inside front cover, it's throughout the book, is simply this: your attitude today describes your past. It reflects your current, what's currently going on, but your attitude predicts your future. If you believe you can do it, you can do it. If you believe you'll be successful, you'll be successful. Your attitude today predicts your future. And I don't know how it could be said any better. Viktor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor. Think about how awful that must have been. And he says everything can be taken from a person but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. That is the essence of what we're talking about. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed this, I hope you did. You can find more of these at the School of Global Health Management and Informatics here at UCF. Take care.